Hello there, and welcome to Japan Game Junk Podcast. This time trying something a bit different. I'm enjoying a nice bath while recording, so hopefully the acoustics in this closed-off bath shower unit will provide more depth and volume to the sound. Anyway, today it's describing a visit to, although not the best or biggest Surugaya store, perhaps one of the most well-known and visited. And this is the original store in Akihabara of Tokyo, as visited on June the 3rd of 2024. There are two Surugaya stores in Akihabara, which have used games. This is the one that is not as close to the station. It's a bit further out. It is very close, in fact, right next to the Beep store, as described in a previous episode. This store has probably I'd say the best deals for retro games generally in Akihabara. Some other stores will sometimes you can find better deals here and there, like at Liberty or at Trader before it moved, or even recently at the Mandarake, as I described. But in general, this is the place to go to have the best luck to find a reasonably priced retro game, as I did here on this day. So, telling you a bit now about what was there on this date. Some things I wish I had very much, and one thing I did in fact obtain. First, something I wish I had is the best MSX ever made. It's a Panasonic I think it's AI GT MIDI personal computer, the FS-A1, yes, it will be A1 GT, unit. This is an MSX Turbo Plus R. This is the last ever MSX version made, and it also includes, inside the unit itself, the upgraded audio chip to allow MIDI sound, which was huge for the MSX. Very, very, very few games would be completely powered up for this system, but of course you can make your own. It is, in fact, a personal programmable computer. But yes, if you want an MSX, this is the best one to have. And it's reflected in the price. Boxed, 120,000 yen in the display case right by the entrance. Next up is a game, I did purchase this one for the 3DO. It's Syndicate. I played this so much as a teenager. I bought it at the Software Etc. in Chattanooga, Tennessee for $30 plus tax back then. Here I found it, unfortunately no manual, but the back insert and the disc for 1,300 yen, including tax. So yeah, next time I bring out the 3DO and hook it up, I will play some Syndicate and remember it with either remember the fun or realize it was rose-tinted glasses for how it used to be. Something else that is more expensive than I thought it would be, but it's a Choo Choo Rocket for the Dreamcast in the box, including a control pad, the Choo Choo Rocket exclusive orange control pad, 11,300 yen, and this is actually a great idea because it's a great multiplayer game, and some people don't have a control pad. This is a way to get one more into your system. Of course, nowadays, for collection purposes, it's nice, but you can get a controller very cheaply, so not so great a deal. Something else that I was very surprised was Alex Kidd's BMX trial for the Mark III, which I got super cheaply. Here, boxed, was 19,000 yen. Wow. That's kinda big. But even more is R-Type. The original R-Type for the Mark III, 22,000 yen. Wow. Wowie wow. Huh. Next up, I thought this was kind of on the expensive side. Popful Mail, the magical fantasy adventure puzzle game, Popful Mail, for the Mega CD, but the not for sale sample version that was given to stores. It includes saying it's on sale April 1st. I believe that would be 92, I'm not sure, but anyway, 3,800 yen just for the disc, for the game as it was distributed to stores. Also, something that I was tempted to get was a Game & Watch from Nintendo. However, this was a remake. This is the Ball game that was released in 2009. Completely identical to the original, released in the early 80s, or late 70s, early 80s, I think. But this was a Club Nintendo special, so you save up all your points for buying Nintendo games, and you can redeem them for the Ball, Ball Game & Watch game. And it was in box with the Club Nintendo seal, 4,300 yen, which actually is a pretty good price for a Game & Watch game if it's in good condition. Also, to note, if you really want to pleasure yourself to a video game, Super Real Mahjong Part 7 for the Saturn, complete with OB strip, 9,200 yen. I don't believe this is the one where they get all fully nude for you, but yeah, if that's your thing, then there you go. And also I was surprised, WrestleMania, the arcade game for the Saturn, about 8,000 yen. I got it incredibly cheaply. I didn't know it was going to be so expensive, complete in case and all that. Also, this is a game that, well, I doubt you've ever seen before. Gundam Tactics Mobility Fleet 0079. Now that sounds boring as all hell, but this game only, disc only, is for the Bandai Pippin. The Apple Bandai Pippin in Japan, because it was a release both with Bandai and Apple. I believe in other countries just the Apple Pippin machine. But yeah, very, very difficult to find software for this, and so if I found this machine somewhere, I'd have no choice but to pay 5,800 yen for this disc just to have some sort of game to play on it. Also, for the some reason super expensive ASCII keyboard controller for the GameCube, made for Phantasy Star Online mostly, which used to be everywhere for 100 yen. Now, for some reason, it got big on the internet for Americans, and it's 18,000 yen boxed here at the Surugaya store. But it made me very happy to see that the control pad for Virtual Boy, which should come with the system, of course, 7,300 yen. Just buy a Virtual Boy if you can find it cheap for 30,000, and then get that control pad, and then you have an extra Virtual Boy. I don't know. But that was a bit on the expensive side, but not as expensive as the GameCube broadband adapter. I believe I got mine for about 1,000 yen way back when used, about 10 years ago, and here 16,500 yen to do your internet surfing and your hack job stuff on your GameCube. Also, in the display case, Penthouse Interactive for the 3DO was 8,800 yen, which is quite a bit expensive compared to even other Surugaya stores. But yeah, quite a few things that are kind of rare. Last Waltz for 3DO, very rare, 8,000 yen. Let's see. Oh, Mahjong Densetsu, I think this is, maybe. Or maybe I'm reading that incorrectly, but anyway. An arcade CD-ROM for PC Engine I've never seen before. That was 11,300 yen. The Arcade Card Pro to play such games on your original PC Engine CD was 20,500 yen. Wow, I paid 7,000 a few years ago. And they also had tons and tons and tons of Neo Geo CD software, many of which I have not seen anywhere else, but all of which are between 10 and 30,000 yen. But still lots of stuff there. One thing I was very surprised and happy to see that I had purchased it a long time ago for only 3,000 yen was the Wii U version of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, which includes the Wolf Link amiibo. 12,000 yen complete here, not even the best condition for the box, so happy that's getting rarer and rarer as something I own. But yeah, this is a fantastic store, well worth a visit, with unfortunately very narrow aisles, so for someone of my size especially, it's kind of rough. I can't even pass another person who might be looking. I gotta go all the way around an aisle to get to what I want to see. But anyway, it's still a fantastic store in Akihabara. This, along with Beep and Mandarake, are the stores I think you're the most likely to find something to purchase, as opposed just to browse, unless you like getting ripped off in Akihabara. So please enjoy your time at Surugaya, wherever it may be. But if you're in Akihabara, of course, drop in this one. The smaller one, but the one with some interesting stuff. Hey, you can grab a Pippin game. Where else in the world can you get a Pippin game instead of going over to see Scotty Pippen and asking him to play a pickup game of basketball, which you may very well win, as I believe now he would be in his 50s or later. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and remember, this was the bathtub episode. I'll check later how it sounds, and I'll know in the future if I should do more here again. Thank you so much, and good and bye-in.